And how are you doing? Apologies for starting a little late this evening. My colleague, his show prior to mine on the network ran a little bit later, so you make room for your coworkers when they need to have a little bit of extra time. Sometimes that's just simply how things go, and that's okay. That's cool. We're here to help everybody out and make sure everybody has a good time and is able to enjoy their lives. By the way, he had a great interview. Sorry, I needed to clear my throat. He had a wonderful interview with Domingo, who is a legendary hip-hop producer. If you like hip-hop, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm actually having a beer this evening for a change, because I felt I've earned it. Had a very busy weekend. Had a very busy work week. Had a busy day today. I'm in the office at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so it's going to be a busy day for me tomorrow. I'm going to do a show, live streaming from the office while I'm also doing my job. So that could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. No rush, no panic. Everything is chill. At the end of the day, I just like to breathe and relax and, do it as I do. How's the lighting this evening? I'm working on it constantly. Always trying to improve it. I don't know if this is acceptable or passable or even reasonable. The audio is the easy part for me. That's the easy part. The video is relatively straightforward, but trying to adjust for proper lighting, even though I have light meters that will say, you can enhance it by this much and trim it by that much and adjust it by this much, and it doesn't always work out that way. The auto settings are never quite what you want them to be. And I tend to use some manual adjustments because some of the auto ones I find are a little, they leave a little bit to be desired. I'll go to this. You can see I've got a new light fixture that will be quite bright in a second as I transition to the 4 cameras. So you can see that's one camera right there. It's another camera right there. Another one right there. And then this one right here. And this one and this one can actually follow me. See, I have a new light fixture here just to try and give me some lighting from the side to improve upon the image. It's funny how, this is a 4K cam with all these presets. This is a 4K cam with all the presets. This one will actually follow me. If I choose to make it do so, I will switch it up. There we go. So this is the 4K cam with the follow. If I move my head, it follows me. You can see my coats and hats hanging up in the background there. And just lean in a little bit here. We get comfortable. I feel like the Bits and Bytes guy. If you're Canadian, you might know what I'm talking about. I'm reaching my hand in the bag, pulling out a whole new bunch of things. Look, we have 4 cheese sticks, 2 pretzels, a couple of wheat thins. If you are of a certain age, you will remember that ad. It was fun. I think they brought it back a few years ago, if memory serves. And when they did, they made, they added some comedic elements to it. Anyway. I'm here this evening just relaxed, for the most part, I would say. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. And hoping to, help anybody who's willing to come in and get some help. I don't know how much I can provide in the way of help. I just come in and talk for a little bit and tell you about what's going on in my life and how I can possibly provide you with some peace of mind and maybe some, I don't know, relaxation. Maybe. I can't, it's not for me to determine whether or not I can provide you with that. That's up for you to decide. If what I do is passable, acceptable, or even wanted. I have my moments of self-doubt just like everybody else, where I think to myself, yeah, this is a waste. Then I have those moments when I think, nobody cares. And there's something on the TV there, I have no idea what it is. But that's just, what your mind does to you. It tells you different things. Not necessarily good things, sometimes terrible things. So yeah, here I am, trying to figure out what's in store. I've had a terrible migraine for most of the day, so just trying to get through the day and be as pleasant as I could be to everybody in the office. Normally I work from home on Mondays, but I had to go in and prep for an event over the next 2 days, which is why I'm in the office at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Which means shortly after this, I'll be going straight to bed. Because let's face it, it's tough. Oh, damn, Wade, I'm sorry, man. That's, damn it, dude. I wish I could say something that would help make you feel better, but reading that, I've got nothing, man. Oh, let me just kill this light here so it doesn't shine in your eyes just a sec. I'm going to switch cameras up here in a second. And, that's, sorry. You see how the lighting changes from one camera to the next? This is a lighting effect right here. Right there. I'm sorry to hear that, Wade. That's tough, dude. That's really tough. I wish I could, yeah, you're right. You knew it was going to happen, of course, but it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't make it any less difficult. Doesn't mean it's still tough, we're often faced with difficult moments in our lives, and how do we greet them? How do we, get through them? And I don't have an answer for you other than this is what works for me, is to talk it out. Talk it out with whomever is willing to listen. And sometimes just a random person online listening into what you have to say can be helpful, because it's like you feel like you're being heard. And being heard sometimes is important. It reminds you that you're not alone. Or at least that's how I see it. Yeah, that's the thing, Wade. You can prepare for it as much as, any one single person can You know it's coming. You know it's inevitable, and yet all the prep work, all the emotional work you've put into it to try and deal with it, it's never enough, right? It's never enough. And the grief, when it comes, is everlasting. Grief and trauma never leave. They're always there. As time marches on, the pain subsides a little bit, and each day gets a little bit easier, but right now you're in the thick of it, and that is not easy. I wish I could say something to help alleviate this pain that you're feeling. Know that we're here for you. Know that we'll give you as much emotional support as we can, even though it's from a distance. If I could send you some money, I would, brother, but I'm skint as it is. That's just, sometimes how life goes. The thing you never are taught in school, it's not something that, it's not something we talk about nearly enough, is what you're going through, Wade. We don't discuss it nearly enough. Unless you're studying psychology or psychiatry, it's probably not discussed at all in academic situations. And in our private lives, oftentimes, people don't want to hear it. Which is painful, because you need to talk about it, When you're going through something like that, it's holding it inside is probably one of the worst things you could do. It gnaws at you and eats at you and pulls at your heartstrings and can be incredibly tough to deal with. And doing it alone is like, damn. That is just. Know that we're here for you. Know that we will do what we can as a community. Know that we feel your, well, I can't say we feel your pain, but I think we can identify with it. I think we can identify with the emotions you're going through to a certain degree. We've all faced loss at one point or another in our lives. Look, I'll be 55 this summer. I've been to 42 funerals in the last 12 years, 13 years. Might even be 15 now. I'm not even entirely sure anymore. You start to lose count of the years as the numbers rise and go up. To a certain degree, you feel kind of numb. And I don't like that I feel numb from it, but when you've said goodbye to that many people, and at my age, I'm still relatively young-ish. I don't know. It's a lot. I try not to let it get to me. Therapy helps. Talking about it helps. I've never been married, so I have no idea what it's like to be in the position that you're in, Wade. I can't even begin to understand. Oh, Doe's the same age as me, huh? Yeah. It's still young, right? I mean, to my nephews, I'm old, but to a lot of my buddies, I'm young, because they're all, some of them are in their 60s and 70s, and then I have another group of friends that are Gen Zs, who are half my age. I'm in this weird space. I think one of the things that has always been a defining thing about my life is I've never fit in anywhere and always fit in everywhere at the same time. And what I mean by that is I never felt like I belonged anywhere. I've always felt like an outsider, and I don't think that's ever going to change. But I've always been able to make friends and fit in, and I think that's because, being a military brat, you move around so much that you have to learn quickly how to fit in, but you always feel like an outsider. And I don't think I'm alone. I think there's many other people who feel that way who are not, children of a military family. And I don't mean, diplomats or kids of an RCMP officer's family. I don't mean that. Not somebody who's had to move around the country or around the world frequently because of their parents' occupation. I mean, I think there's probably many people who have felt like they never fit in anywhere they ever were. And that's always been me. Don't know where that came from. A little bit of self-therapy this evening, I think, huh? So this winter, which has been strange, the Rideau Canal here in Ottawa, for those of you who might not be familiar, is the world's longest skating rink. To my American friends, you would call that ice skating. We just call it skating. It's a Canadian thing. And for the first time since 1970, 71, because it opened in December of 1970, the canal's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's been around since the 1830s. I'd have to double check. And people used to skate on it all the time when it would freeze over in the winter, but it was never officially a skating rink until 1970, when the head of the National Capital Commission at the time said, let's turn that into a skating rink and make it a focal point for tourism in the winter. We had a winter carnival, why not bring people in to skate on the world-famous Rideau Canal, the world's longest skating rink? So they flood the ice and they maintain it, and this is how it's become a skating rink, because prior to that it would just freeze naturally and people would take some shovels and skate on it. Shovel the snow and skate. But now it's officially maintained, and for the first time in 53 years, it didn't open. Which is one of the weird things this winter. It's been incredibly mild, and now we're getting lots of snow. It's the end of February. March is coming in like a lion, as it sometimes does. And maybe the ski season that almost wasn't might turn into something. The whole world's topsy-turvy, upside down, and weird right now. And I don't know what to make of it. It can be quite troubling, weird, discomforting. All of those things. And I don't know. I apologies, I have to check on something here because I need to see if somebody else had some time reserved on the network after me this evening. What is today? Today is February. My goodness. I'm just checking the schedule here. I don't wish to interrupt anybody else's time. Let me see. I do have some time. Okay, good. Show started late, but I can stretch it out a little bit. As my colleague James had he was planning a doubleheader tonight, but didn't quite work out that way. So my show started late. His ran a little bit late because it started late, and here I am a little bit later, but that's okay. I have some extra time, so I'm happy to be here. It's kind of weird. I don't, I don't always know what to say. I don't prepare for this in any way. I don't have notes. I don't research anything. I just sit and talk about my life experiences, and I will relay information to you about how, some exercises that I've discovered or have been taught or have read about have helped me, and I will discuss that with you. But this is a complete stream of consciousness, free-form show. It's not organized in any way, shape, or form, other than I'm going to speak to you in this calming, soothing voice and discuss our mental health and have an open forum, an open community chat where you can come in and feel comfortable to discuss whatever it is that's on your mind. And my goal is to try and create this peaceful, calming environment. I don't know if I succeed, but I will always try. And I hope that if you tune in to this, if you surf in, if you, have subscribed to the channel, I appreciate that. And I want to try and give you the best information I can about ways to improve your life. Sometimes I'm just going to wail on about what's going on with me, and I might not be able to give you any type of advice. I think tonight's one of those nights. I'm tired, and I had a long work week and a long day today, and tomorrow's going to be, the next 2 days are actually going to be 10-hour work days, so that's a bit of a drain on the body. But that's okay, I enjoy what I do. Nevertheless, I shall endeavor. And I hope to provide you with something that makes you feel a little bit better when I say bonsoir. So, what can I tell you? How is everyone feeling this evening? Are we collectively feeling okay? Are we all suffering? I mean, I've been up and down the last few days. Saturday, I had a very busy day. Ran some errands, helped my folks out, and then got home and worked on some stuff, some editing, and then posted a bunch of shows. Went for a walk, and then went over to the pub, and I had a partake, which is a non-alcoholic beer, and then came home and watched a movie and went to bed. And then Sunday, I was just physically exhausted. I think the entire week had caught up to me, and as a result, I was wiped out. It hasn't started snowing yet, and it's supposed to start snowing soon. I believe we're getting 15 to 20 centimeters, which is great for skiing, but will wreak havoc on driving around the city, which means schools will probably close and buses won't run, and that'll just add to the workload, because what doesn't get done tomorrow will get done later in the week when, everybody shows up. So, when you say you're wondering why you're doing what you do, you don't have to disclose that. Kriya? Kriya? Did I say that right? C-R-H-E-A? I like to get things correct. You don't need to talk about what it is that you do if you don't want to. If you want to, that's fine, no problem. It's a safe space here, right? We're here to support one another. But if you're wondering what it is you're doing, what you do, May I ask you, was this something you wanted to do? Or was this something you felt you had to because pressures from society or peer pressure or parental pressure to pursue this? Or was this something you always wanted to do? I mean, I'm doing a couple of things I've wanted to do for a long time. My day job, the current position I have, is something I've wanted for some time. This podcasting thing is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm doing it. There's no money in this, but it's a labor of love, and one that I will continue to do for as long as I can. I'm sorry you're feeling disconnected, man or woman. ADH724. The gender's not important to me. Really, it isn't. I say man, I mean dude, person, guy, lady, man. None of that is important to me. What is important is that you're able to check in here and that it helps you out. And I'm happy that I can help you out. Don't know how I do it, but if you checking in and chatting with the other folks that join in, and that helps you out, then that's awesome. I get the disconnection thing too, though. I experience that quite a bit, and it used to be a regular feeling for me. It was how I felt most of the time, disconnected. I once tried to describe what depression was to a friend, and she said, somebody told me it was like being inside of a spacesuit. I'm like, well, I've never been in a spacesuit, so I don't know how anybody could relate to that. I can tell you something I'm sure most of us can relate to, though, and that's, it feels like being underwater. But you're not in a lake, you're in a pool. At a pool party, surrounded by friends, and they're all in the pool with you. But you're seated in the shallow end, and you're underwater, completely underwater. You can see everything because you've got goggles on, and you're able to breathe for some strange reason. But you feel disconnected and cold and isolated, even though you're surrounded by people, because the sound is muffled. And the water is cold, so you're losing sensations and a touch, but you can't get out of the pool. You have to stay underwater. And that's how I've described what depression often feels like. And I think that's also what the disconnection feels like. You're numb. You can't feel anything. Well, Kriya, that's tough. Having doing a job that you have no interest in whatsoever. Especially, I get what you're saying. I've had things fall into my lap and just said, you know what, let's do this. And after a while, it's like, I can't do this anymore. I dread getting out of bed and going to work every day. I have been there. It can be really tough because it affects so much more of your life than maybe we really truly understand. You know, you spend 8 to 10 hours a day at your place of employment, no matter what it is. What it is irrelevant, but if it's something that doesn't fulfill you in any way and actually sucks the life out of you, that makes getting up to do it every day that much more difficult. And as you get older, you may be able to come to terms with it. I can't say that you can or You will, but maybe be able to come to terms with it and go, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I don't know what the breaking point is for each individual. Mine came to me. And it was difficult. I was not happy with what I was doing. I got to the point where I hated what I was doing so much because it wasn't the job I was hired for. I was hired to do one job. COVID interrupted everything. Understandable. I'll bite the bullet and do what needs to be done because the world has gone upside down. But that was only supposed to be short term, and then it turned into very long term, and then the position I'm currently in fell into my lap when the guy I had trained for it decided to take a job with another company, and they asked me to take it over. And it was a perfect fit because I love going to work. I have the days like everybody. I'm tired, I just want to stay in bed. And it's not because I dread what I'm going to go and do, it's just because I'm tired and I want to stay in bed. And we all have those days. I'm lucky enough to enjoy going to work every day. I like going to the office. I like my job. I like the people I work with. I'm very lucky. They don't pay me very much, but that's because I work for a private company that contracts me to another company, and they take 62% of what they bill. Anyway, I don't want to get into the semantics of that, but you understand. You're right about that, Korea. That there's so many people that never are able to find a profession that they find A, fulfilling, B, satisfying, and D, financially rewarding enough to want to continue to do it. A few years ago, I quit a job that was paying me a lot more than it was $25,000 more per year than I'm earning right now. But I hated it. I mean, I hated it so much. And that was another one where I was hired to do a certain thing, and they promised me this, that, and the other thing, and none of that happened. So after 3 months, I was like, bye, I'm out of here. I don't ever want to set foot on another construction site again as long as I live, and I don't care how much money's involved. The money will not give you happiness. It can make life a little easier. If you want to take a vacation, the money's there. You need to buy new clothes, you don't have to budget for it. When you go to buy groceries, you don't think about what you put in your cart. You just put it in your cart and pay for it. But when your heart and soul are sacrificed for that dollar, it ain't worth it. And life is short. So very short. Like I said, I went to 42 funerals in the last 12 or 13 years. I don't think it's 15. I think it's 12 or 13. And if I learned anything from that, it was like, look, we all got to go someday, so let's try and find something that makes us happy on a daily basis. Only you know what will be fulfilling, satisfying, and grant you happiness. I can't tell you what that is. I'm hoping you're able to find that. And if not, hold on to the hope that someday you'll get there. We all have to battle through some tough times till we get to a happy place. I'm lucky enough to be in a pretty happy place. That being said, I still have my occasional mental health struggles, depression, anxiety, the never-ending imposter syndrome, which sucks. But I come to realize on a daily basis that I'm not an imposter. I'm actually good at what I do. And I get told that by my coworkers and the people that I do my job for, that I'm good at what I do and I know what I'm doing. And that really is something that is tremendous when it comes to reinforcing a positive message. I'm struggling for words right now, but when I come to the realization that I'm good at what I do, I like what I do, I'm good at what I do, I'm not an imposter. I'm not an imposter. We all go through imposter syndrome at some point. Like, what's going to happen when they find out I don't know what I'm doing? And I remember telling a dear friend of mine once, many, many years ago, oh, my friend, nobody knows what they're doing. We're all just fumbling around in the dark trying to act like we know what we're doing. Your boss doesn't know what they're doing either. We get stuff presented to us on a daily basis that I've never seen this before. There was a fella I worked with years ago. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand this. He goes, neither do I. Let's go figure it out. And I went, what? You're not troubled by that? No, it's a problem. Let's find a solution. That's part of the fun of the job. He was right. I mean, even though I didn't care for the job, he was right. And that was part of the fun of it. So find something that brings you joy. And if you can do that and earn a living at it, that's great too. I don't have an answer for you on how to do that. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you, here's what you should do. I can't do that. But I can be here as your friend to let you know that I've gone through it too. That it is temporary. Things do get better. Age does give you wisdom. How much I have, I don't know. Because quite frankly, as time has marched on, the more I've learned, the more I understand, the more I realize I don't know a damn thing about anything. It may sound a little scary, but when you come to terms with that, it's not scary at all. It's comforting in a very weird way. Anyway, my friends, I'm going to bid you adieu. I got to free up some time because there's other people that want to get on. I know James is not coming on next, but there is other stuff scheduled after me, and I'm running later than I normally would. Normally I like to do 30 minutes and end at 9:30 so I can take care of some other issues that I have. But tonight, because I started late, I thought I'd run a little bit longer for you. So, I will be back next week. If you like jazz, I'll have a jazz show posted soon, once I have a chance to complete the recording of it. I have a pop music show that I'm working on. It's going to be a 4-hour podcast once I get it completed. It's getting there. It's just going to take a little bit longer than I planned. For the 4-hour shows, I used to sit and do it in one sitting. But it's trying to get 4 hours. I don't have the time. It's just how life works out. So it might have to be done over 4 or 5 nights when my schedule permits. Anyway, neither here nor there. I'll bid you adieu, my friends. Thank you for joining me this evening. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.